Let me tell you something powerful. Vision isn't just about what you see with your eyes. It's about what you see with your heart, your spirit, your soul. Vision is the force that pulls you through every obstacle, every failure, every disappointment. It's not fantasy, it's fuel. You see, most people live their lives reacting to what's in front of them. They see problems, limitations, distractions, and they let those things define them. But the few who rise above, the few who change their lives, their families, their businesses, their world, those are the people who live by vision, not by sight. They move toward something bigger than what's right now. They move toward what could be. Vision is your superpower because it gives meaning to your pain and direction to your passion. When you have vision, failure doesn't destroy you. It develops you. Criticism doesn't crush you. It clarifies you. Discomfort doesn't stop you. It strengthens you. Think about it. Every great achiever started with nothing but vision. The athletes, the inventors, the dreamers, the leaders, they all saw something long before anyone else could. They believed in a version of themselves that didn't yet exist. And because they saw it, they started living like it before it was real. That's the secret. You don't wait for the vision to come true to believe in it. You believe in it until it has to come true. When you have vision, you don't need external motivation. You become the source of it. Vision wakes you up earlier. Vision pushes you when everyone else quits. Vision gives you the courage to walk alone, to keep moving when there's no applause, to build when no one believes. You might not have the money yet. You might not have the connections. You might not even have the full plan. But if you've got a clear vision and the hunger to back it up, nothing can stop you. Because the moment you commit to that vision, life starts rearranging itself around your belief. So the question isn't, do you have what it takes? The real question is, can you see it before it exists? Your vision is the compass that points you through the chaos. It's the fire that burns when everything else goes dark. It's the reminder of why you started, who you are becoming, and what you're here to do. Don't let your vision shrink to fit your current reality. Expand your actions to fit your ultimate vision. When you feel tired, go back to the vision. When you feel lost, go back to the vision. When no one believes in you, go back to the vision, because that's your superpower. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not timing. It's the ability to see what others can't yet see and act like it's already real. So decide today, what's your vision? What's that future version of you that's calling your name? Don't just dream it. Don't just wish for it. See it. Feel it. Live it. Because your vision isn't out there somewhere waiting for you. It's already inside you, waiting to be unleashed. Vision is the ability to see beyond your current reality, to look past what is and focus on what could be. It's the art of holding a picture in your mind so powerful, so compelling, that it pulls you through doubt, fear, and every obstacle in your way. Most people only see what's right in front of them. They see the bills that need paying, the problems they face, the people who doubt them, the limits that life has thrown their way. But visionaries, those who truly create change, see something deeper. They see the invisible, they feel the intangible, and they believe in the impossible. Vision is what separates the dreamers from the doers, the average from the exceptional, the lost from the leaders. It's not something you stumble upon by accident. It's something you create intentionally with focus, imagination, and belief. When you live by vision, you stop being controlled by circumstance. Your environment doesn't dictate your emotions. Your limitations don't define your future, and your current situation doesn't determine your destiny. Vision gives you power because it shifts your focus from what's temporary to what's possible. It gives you the strength to say, this is where I am, but this is not where I'm staying. You begin to see your challenges not as permanent walls, but as stepping stones that guide you toward the life you've envisioned. Vision allows you to look at your current reality with a sense of faith instead of fear, knowing that what you're building exists first in your mind before it ever shows up in your world. The most successful people in history have one thing in common. They were able to see something before anyone else could. They didn't have guarantees. They didn't have perfect timing. They didn't even have all the answers. But they had vision. They had an image so clear in their minds that no setback could destroy it. They saw something others couldn't, and they refused to let go of it until it became reality. That's the difference between those who merely exist and those who truly live with purpose. Vision is like a magnet that pulls you forward even when everything around you feels like it's falling apart. It gives you the ability to move forward when your logic says stop, when your body says you're tired, and when your environment screams it's impossible. To see beyond your current reality means to train yourself to look through a different lens. It's choosing not to be a prisoner of the present, but a pioneer of the future. It means you no longer say, I'll believe it when I see it. Instead, you say, I'll see it because I believe it. Vision transforms your mind into a creative machine. It begins to find ways, attract opportunities, and draw people into your life that align with what you're building. It shifts your energy, your posture, and your decisions. You start to walk differently because you're no longer walking toward uncertainty. You're walking towards something you've already seen inside yourself. When you live without vision, you're stuck reacting to life instead of creating it. You drift, you doubt, you settle. You repeat the same days over and over again because you have nothing pulling you forward. Vision is the cure to stagnation. It's the antidote to fear. It gives you direction when everything around you feels chaotic. Even in moments of confusion, vision gives you clarity. It allows you to say, I might not know every step, but I know where I'm going. That kind of certainty is magnetic. It changes how you speak, how you move, how you show up. People feel it in your energy because you're no longer guessing, you're guided. Every great journey begins with someone who dared to see something that wasn't there yet. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every revolution started as a vision in someone's mind. The difference between those who make history and those who watch it happen is vision. It's what allows someone to stand in the middle of failure and still say, this is just part of the process. It's what allows a person to look at a barren field and imagine a thriving garden. It's what allows an entrepreneur to look at an empty space and envision an empire. Vision gives meaning to struggle because it reminds you that where you are right now is just a chapter, not the entire story. To see beyond your current reality, you have to silence the noise of limitation. You have to stop listening to the people who tell you to be realistic. Realistic thinking kills potential. Realistic thinking keeps you in survival mode when you were born to thrive. Vision asks you to be bold enough to dream bigger than your current environment allows. It asks you to stretch your imagination, to push past logic, to embrace faith. It demands that you see yourself not as you are, but as you could be. That's how transformation begins, not with external change, but with internal sight. There's power in choosing to believe in what you can't yet see. There's power in holding an image in your mind so clearly that your actions naturally begin to align with it. The moment you define your vision, life begins to bend in your favor. You start noticing things you never noticed before. Resources, ideas, people, timing. That's not coincidence. That's clarity. Vision creates focus, and focus creates movement. The clearer your vision, the stronger your decisions. The stronger your decisions, the faster your results. It's not about luck. It's about alignment. When your vision becomes your standard, your environment eventually catches up. Seeing beyond your current reality means refusing to let your past define your potential. It means understanding that your current struggles are shaping you for the next level of your vision. Every failure is just feedback. Every setback is just preparation. When you have a vision, you interpret life differently. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? You start asking, how is this happening for me? That simple shift changes everything. Suddenly, the pain has purpose. The delay has design. The uncertainty has direction. Vision is not passive. It's active. It's something you nurture daily. You feed it with belief, protect it from doubt, and strengthen it through action. The more you act on your vision, the more real it becomes. It starts to gain momentum, and momentum is power. Once your vision has momentum, it becomes unstoppable. It's no longer a dream. It's a destiny unfolding in real time. That's why the ability to see beyond your current reality is so vital, because everything great, everything extraordinary, everything world-changing begins first in the imagination of someone who refused to accept things as they were. Your vision gives meaning to pain and direction to passion. It transforms suffering from something that drains you into something that drives you. Pain, when left unmanaged, can become a weight that holds you down, a burden that keeps you stuck in the past, a voice that whispers, you can't. But when paired with vision, pain becomes fuel. It becomes energy. It becomes a teacher that shapes your character, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your resolve. Every setback, every heartbreak, every failure is no longer meaningless. It becomes a signpost pointing you toward the life you are meant to create. Vision turns the challenges that once seemed like obstacles into stepping stones. It gives your struggles purpose because each struggle is now connected to something bigger than yourself, something worth fighting for. Direction is the invisible force that keeps you moving when life feels chaotic. Without it, energy dissipates, effort is wasted, and motivation fades. But when vision provides direction, every action, every choice, every sacrifice aligns with a larger purpose. Passion alone can ignite fire, but without direction, it often burns out quickly. Vision channels passion, focuses energy, and ensures that your fire is not scattered but concentrated. It's the difference between running in circles and moving forward. Your vision acts like a compass, pointing you toward the horizon of your dreams, guiding you through uncertainty, giving you clarity when the world around you is noisy and confusing. Pain is universal, but vision is what differentiates those who rise from those who remain stuck. Everyone experiences setbacks. Everyone faces moments of despair. Everyone encounters obstacles that seem insurmountable, but not everyone can see beyond them. Those who succeed are the ones who use vision to reframe pain. They recognize that every difficulty is temporary, every disappointment is a lesson, and every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. Vision allows you to see your suffering not as an endpoint, but as a bridge that connects the person you are today to the person you are destined to become. When you hold your vision clearly, pain no longer paralyzes you, it propels you forward. Vision also helps you identify the purpose behind your passion. Passion is an intense energy, a burning desire to achieve something, but without vision, it can feel directionless, fleeting, or overwhelming. Vision provides structure and clarity. It gives your passion a target, a goal, a mission. When your vision is clear, you know exactly why you're pushing, why you're sacrificing, and why the struggle is worth it. Every ounce of energy, every late night, every early morning, every effort that feels exhausting as a destination. Vision gives meaning to the work, meaning to the struggle, and meaning to the sacrifices. It transforms what could have been random chaos into a strategic, unstoppable force moving toward an inevitable outcome. When vision and passion work together, they create unstoppable momentum. Passion ignites the spark, but vision keeps the flame alive. Without vision, passion fades. Without passion, vision becomes cold and distant. Together, they create a synergy that pushes you through fatigue, fear, and doubt. You start to notice the power in small victories, the lessons in minor setbacks, and the opportunities hidden within challenges. Every action you take begins to be infused with intention. You are no longer moving haphazardly through life. You are moving with purpose. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of your own destiny. Pain, when connected to vision, also develops resilience. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship. It's about embracing it, learning from it, and using it as a tool for growth. When your vision is clear, you interpret difficulties differently. Instead of seeing pain as a stop sign, you see it as a speed bump, a challenge to overcome, an opportunity to refine your approach. You begin to ask, what is this teaching me, and how can I use this to move closer to my vision? That shift in perspective transforms fear into courage, doubt into determination, and weakness into strength. Pain is no longer a barrier. It's a catalyst. Vision also allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters. Life is full of distractions, people who doubt you, situations you cannot control, failures that tempt you to quit. Without vision, it's easy to be swept away by these distractions. But when your vision is clear, it acts like a magnet, drawing your attention to what truly matters. It prioritizes your actions, ensuring that your energy is spent on efforts that bring you closer to your ultimate goals. This focus eliminates wasted time, reduces stress, and magnifies the impact of every action you take. Vision keeps you centered, grounded, and unstoppable, even when the world seems chaotic. When you combine vision with the lessons of pain, you begin to see your journey differently. Challenges become opportunities. Failures become feedback. Setbacks become setups for growth. You start to understand that nothing in life happens to you. It happens for you. Vision transforms suffering into strategy, struggle into strength, and setbacks into stepping stones. Every painful experience begins to take on a higher purpose because you are no longer enduring it aimlessly. You are using it intentionally. You are converting pain into power and energy into results. Your vision also inspires others. When people witness someone who can take pain and turn it into purpose, who can channel passion into action, they are drawn to it. They feel the energy, the focus, and the determination. Vision doesn't just change your life, it influences the lives of those around you. It creates leaders, innovators, and creators. It allows you to leave a legacy that is not just measured in personal success, but in the impact you have on others, the inspiration you provide, and the lives you touch along the way. It's important to remember that vision is not a passive state. It's not enough to simply have a dream or an idea. Vision requires action, discipline, and persistence. It requires that you show up every day, even when the pain feels unbearable, even when the results are slow, even when the world doubts you. Vision is what transforms passion from a fleeting feeling into sustained achievement. It requires courage to look beyond temporary discomfort and the determination to continue moving forward when every part of you wants to quit. The combination of vision and passion creates an unstoppable force that no external circumstance can defeat. When you live with vision, you redefine the meaning of pain. You begin to see it as temporary, necessary, and purposeful. You understand that every obstacle is part of the larger plan, every difficulty a lesson in disguise, and every failure a stepping stone toward success. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, What can I learn from this and how can I use it to move closer to my vision? That mindset transforms your life, your energy, and your results. Pain becomes an ally, not an enemy. Struggle becomes a teacher, not a tormentor. And your passion becomes a vehicle, not a fleeting emotion, because it is guided by the power of vision. Energy without direction can dissipate. Passion without purpose can fade. Pain without meaning can break you. But when vision is at the center, everything changes. Your vision gives meaning to your pain, purpose to your passion, and direction to your actions. It ensures that every struggle has a lesson, every setback has a reason, and every sacrifice moves you closer to the life you are meant to live. It allows you to transform adversity into advantage, suffering into strength, and challenges into catalysts for growth. With vision, you no longer feel lost. You no longer feel helpless. You no longer feel like a passenger in your own life. You become the driver, the creator, the force that shapes reality. Pain fuels you instead of breaking you. Passion propels you instead of distracting you, and direction guides you instead of leaving you adrift. Vision gives you control, clarity, and purpose. It empowers you to take the experiences, challenges, and obstacles that once held you back and use them as a springboard toward the extraordinary life that awaits you. Your vision transforms every hardship into opportunity, every doubt into determination, every fear into fuel. It ensures that your passion is focused, your energy is aligned, and your pain becomes a teacher rather than a tormentor. Vision turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results, ordinary energy into unstoppable momentum, and ordinary people into remarkable achievers. Believe in your vision before it becomes real, because that belief is the foundation upon which everything great is built. Every achievement, every success, every transformation begins with someone daring to believe in something that didn't exist yet. Belief is the birthplace of creation. When you believe deeply in your vision, it takes root in your soul and becomes unshackable. Even when your current reality doesn't reflect it, you don't wait for proof. You create proof through persistence, through faith, through consistent action. Belief transforms imagination into manifestation. It's the invisible force that bridges the gap between the idea in your mind and the reality you live. Without belief, vision is just a dream. With belief, vision becomes destiny in motion. Believing in your vision means standing firm when no one else understands it. It means holding on to it when people doubt you, when circumstances challenge you, and when logic tells you to quit. The truth is, most people give up not because their vision wasn't powerful, but because their belief wasn't strong enough. Your external world always mirrors your internal certainty. If you doubt, the world will reflect that doubt back to you. But if you believe with conviction, the universe starts to move in your favor. Belief activates courage, and courage activates action. You start taking steps you wouldn't have taken otherwise, and those steps create momentum. That momentum builds evidence, and that evidence strengthens your belief even more. It's a cycle that begins within and manifests without. In the early stages of any vision, there's no visible sign that it's possible. You look around and see only what's missing, the resources, the opportunities, the recognition. That's when belief matters most. When everything seems empty, belief gives you substance. When everything feels uncertain, belief gives you direction. When no one is cheering you on, belief becomes your own inner voice reminding you why you started. It's easy to believe when things are going well. But real belief is proven in the moments when there's no external validation, when the results aren't visible yet, when it feels like you're walking through fog. That's where visionaries are made. That's where leaders are born. Belief doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means seeing beyond it. It means acknowledging where you are while refusing to accept that it's the end of your story. It's looking at your circumstances and saying, this is temporary. My vision is permanent. Belief gives you the strength to walk by faith, not by sight. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You find ways to make progress even when doors seem closed. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions because belief convinces you that you can create your own conditions. You move differently when you believe. You speak with conviction, you act with confidence, and you attract possibilities that match your level of certainty. Every person who's ever accomplished something remarkable had to believe in it long before it was tangible. They had to see the invisible, trust the process, and keep showing up even when nothing seemed to work. Belief doesn't guarantee an easy road, but it guarantees you won't quit on the way. It fuels perseverance. It whispers, keep going, when your body wants to rest, when your mind wants to doubt, when your heart feels weary. It's that quiet inner voice that refuses to die, even when everything else seems lost. When your belief is strong, you become immune to temporary defeats. You see setbacks as setups. You interpret delays as preparation. You realize that every challenge is shaping you to handle the success that's on its way. Believing in your vision before it becomes real is also an act of alignment. When your mind, emotions, and actions all align with your vision, you begin to live as if it's already true. You start making decisions that your future self would make. You carry yourself with the confidence of someone who's already achieved it. That energy changes everything. It shifts how people respond to you, how opportunities find you, and how your environment molds around you. The moment your belief becomes unshakable, life begins to mirror it. You start attracting the right people, the right timing, the right resources, because belief is magnetic. It draws to you whatever matches your conviction. But belief isn't passive. It's not about sitting back and hoping your dream appears. Belief demands evidence through consistent action. Every small step you take becomes proof that you're serious about your vision. Every day you commit to it, even when you don't feel like it, you're building momentum. Belief without action is fantasy, but belief with action becomes unstoppable. When you keep acting from a place of faith, your confidence compounds. You begin to trust yourself on a deeper level. You stop needing validation because your actions become your validation. You no longer wait for permission. You give it to yourself. In the journey of creation, there will always be a gap between your vision and your current reality. That gap can either feel like frustration or it can feel like faith. The difference lies in your belief. When you believe, that gap doesn't discourage you, it excites you. It's the space where miracles happen, where growth occurs, where transformation takes place. The gap is the evidence that you're in motion, that you're evolving, that your vision is being shaped through the process. Most people fear the waiting. Visionaries trust it. They understand that the time between seeing the dream and living the dream is sacred. It's where character is built, where faith is tested, and where the foundation for lasting success is laid. Belief also protects your energy. Without it, you burn out quickly. You waste time second-guessing yourself, comparing yourself to others, or chasing approval. But when you believe, you move with clarity and calm. You stop chasing things that don't align with your purpose because you already know where you're headed. You conserve energy by focusing only on what serves your vision. Belief simplifies your path. It helps you say no to distractions and yes to what matters. It's like turning chaos into order, confusion into confidence. You stop being tossed around by opinions and emotions because you're grounded in conviction. There's something powerful that happens when you believe so deeply that you begin to act as if your dream is already real. The energy of that belief changes how you show up. It makes you resourceful. You start finding ways instead of making excuses. You begin to embody the identity of the person you're becoming, not the person you've been. That's how transformation happens from the inside out. When you think, feel, and act like the person who already lives your vision, your external world eventually has no choice but to catch up. That's how you collapse time. That's how you accelerate progress. You stop waiting for evidence and start becoming the evidence. To believe before you see requires courage because it means trusting something intangible. It means taking risks others won't take, investing effort others won't give, and holding faith when everyone else lets go. But that's what makes belief so powerful. It separates the dreamers from the doers, the hopeful from the unstoppable. It's easy to follow when the path is clear. It takes vision to move when it's dark. It's easy to act when everyone supports you. It takes conviction to act when you're standing alone. Those who believe before they see are the ones who end up leading those who wait for proof. Your belief becomes the foundation upon which your vision grows. It's the soil in which your dreams take root. If the soil is weak, the vision dies before it has a chance to grow. But when the soil is rich with belief, even the smallest seed of a dream can grow into something extraordinary. You must protect that belief at all costs. Guard it from doubt, feed it with action, and nurture it with gratitude. The stronger your belief, the faster your vision comes alive. Believing in your vision before it becomes real is not about ignoring reality. It's about redefining it. It's about deciding that what you see right now is just a temporary snapshot, not the full picture. It's about knowing that reality bends to the power of focused belief and disciplined action. It's about trusting that your dream was given to you for a reason, and that if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. It's not just positive thinking, it's deliberate creation. When you believe in your vision before it becomes real, you stop living like a spectator and start living like a creator. You stop asking for signs and start becoming the sign. You stop waiting for doors to open and start building your own. You live each day as proof that faith is more powerful than fear, and that belief is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. That's what separates those who wish from those who win, those who dream from those who do, those who talk about the future from those who create it. Vision fuels persistence when motivation fades, because motivation is temporary, but vision is eternal. Motivation is a spark. It can ignite your energy for a moment, but without vision, it burns out quickly. Vision, however, is the deep fire within that keeps you moving when the excitement disappears and the road gets hard. It's what pushes you to take another step when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, and when there's no visible progress yet. Motivation depends on mood, but vision depends on meaning. When you live from vision, you don't rely on fleeting emotions to keep going. You rely on purpose, and purpose never runs out of fuel. It's what transforms effort into endurance and struggle into strength. Vision becomes your internal engine, constantly driving you toward the future you've already seen in your mind, even when your current circumstances seem to contradict it. Persistence is not a product of motivation. It's born from clarity. When you know where you're going and why you're going there, you find the strength to keep moving through fatigue, rejection, and failure. Vision provides that clarity. It reminds you that every setback is just another step in the process. Every obstacle is temporary, and every delay is refining you for the destination. People who rely on motivation alone quit when things get uncomfortable, but those who live by vision can endure the discomfort because they understand it's shaping them. They don't need instant results to validate their effort. They trust the process because the picture in their mind is more powerful than the pressure of the moment. Vision gives you the long-term perspective that keeps you stable when emotions fluctuate, when the excitement of starting fades, when the challenges start to weigh heavy, and when the progress seems invisible. That's when vision steps in. It becomes the silent voice that whispers, "Keep going." It reminds you of the reason you started when the results haven't shown up yet. Motivation shouts in the beginning, but vision whispers in the dark. It's that whisper that keeps your fire alive. It's the invisible reminder of the life you're building, the purpose you're serving, the person you're becoming. You keep going not because it's easy, but because your vision won't let you quit. You've seen too much of what's possible to go back to what's comfortable. That's the power of vision. It doesn't let you settle. It keeps you moving even when you feel like stopping. Persistence is the bridge between intention and manifestation, and vision is the force that keeps you walking across that bridge. Every great accomplishment in history is a story of someone who refused to give up when the excitement faded. They didn't have more resources, more luck, or more talent. They had more vision. They had a clear picture that guided them through doubt, criticism, and fear. Vision anchors you when life gets stormy. It keeps you grounded when everything else is uncertain. It becomes your internal compass, guiding your decisions and reminding you that progress isn't always visible, but it's always happening. Without vision, resistance breaks you. With vision, resistance builds you. There will be days when motivation disappears completely, when your emotions betray you, when the journey feels endless and exhausting. That's when most people quit. But when you're living from vision, quitting isn't an option. You might rest, you might pause, but you never stop. Vision gives pain, purpose, and struggle significance. You start to see your challenges not as signs of failure, but as part of your growth. You understand that every obstacle is testing your commitment to the dream. Vision allows you to interpret difficulty differently. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you start asking, "What is this preparing me for?" That shift in mindset is what creates resilience. Persistence grows naturally when your perspective is rooted in purpose rather than emotion. When motivation fades, your habits, routines, and disciplines are powered by your vision. You wake up not because you feel like it, but because your vision demands it. You work hard not for external validation, but for internal fulfillment. Vision creates consistency because it's not dependent on temporary states of inspiration. It's a decision you make every single day to keep showing up, to keep pushing forward, to keep creating momentum even when no one notices. That's where real transformation happens, in the unseen moments, in the small, consistent actions that compound over time. Vision gives you the patience to trust that those actions are building something greater than what you can currently see. The truth is, motivation is emotional, but vision is spiritual. Motivation reacts to circumstances, but vision transcends them. It's what allows you to move forward when everything in your environment tells you to stop. It's what makes you wake up early even when you're exhausted, push harder even when you're tired, believe even when you've been disappointed. Vision gives you the emotional endurance to face rejection without resentment and to experience failure without fear. It turns frustration into fuel and exhaustion into evidence that you're still in the fight. Motivation might get you started, but only vision can keep you moving through the middle, the space between where you are and where you want to be. When you have vision, persistence becomes natural because you're not chasing quick wins, you're building lasting impact. You stop looking for shortcuts and start embracing the long road. You understand that real success isn't about how fast you start, but how long you can stay committed. Vision gives you the patience to play the long game. It helps you endure seasons of silence when no one sees your effort and no one praises your progress. You become driven by internal fulfillment instead of external applause. You're no longer attached to instant gratification because you know that the vision itself is worth the wait. That's the power of vision. It keeps you faithful in the process long before the promise appears. Vision also transforms how you handle failure. When motivation is your only fuel, failure feels like the end. But when vision fuels you, failure becomes feedback. You see every mistake as a lesson, every detour as a new direction, every closed door as protection or redirection. Vision helps you extract meaning from every experience instead of letting it define you. You start to understand that persistence isn't just about pushing harder, it's about growing wiser. You adapt, you evolve, and you keep moving because your belief in what's possible is greater than your fear of what's painful. Vision keeps your faith alive when results are slow. It reminds you that progress doesn't always show up in visible form. It's happening beneath the surface, shaping you for what's next. When your vision becomes your source of energy, your actions shift from reaction to creation. You stop waiting for motivation to appear because you realize you can generate your own energy by reconnecting to your why. You remind yourself what you're building, who you're becoming, and why it matters. You visualize the outcome so vividly that it reignites your determination. That mental image becomes a constant source of inspiration that never runs dry. Even when you're tired, even when you're unsure, the clarity of that vision breathes new life into your effort. Vision reawakens your drive every time motivation fades. It becomes the heartbeat of your persistence. Persistence fueled by vision also creates emotional stability. Without vision, people get easily discouraged when they don't see immediate progress. They lose focus, switch paths, or start over repeatedly. But when you're guided by vision, you remain steady. You understand that consistency compounds. You stay committed even when you don't see results because you trust the process. You've already seen the outcome in your mind, so you know it's only a matter of time before it manifests. That unwavering belief builds unshakable confidence. You stop depending on external progress to feel certain because your certainty comes from within. Vision also turns endurance into empowerment. Every time you push through difficulty, your self-trust grows. You begin to realize that you're capable of far more than you thought. You stop doubting your ability to finish because you've proven to yourself that you can persist without constant motivation. That's how leaders are built, not through perfect conditions, but through relentless commitment. Every time you endure, you become stronger, wiser, and more grounded in your vision. The process of staying consistent when motivation is gone refines your character and prepares you for the success that's coming. Ultimately, vision creates sustainability. Motivation may get you started, but vision ensures you never stop. It turns ordinary persistence into passionate purpose. It gives you a reason to keep climbing even when the peak feels far away. Vision makes the grind meaningful, the struggle sacred, and the wait worthwhile. It keeps your spirit alive when your energy fades, your hope dimmed, and your path feels uncertain. Vision transforms persistence from effort into destiny. It keeps your heart on fire long after the initial spark of motivation has burned out. Life aligns with the clarity of your vision because the world responds not to your wishes, but to your focus. When you know exactly what you want, life begins to rearrange itself to match that clarity. Every thought, every decision, every opportunity begins to align with the image you hold in your mind. But when your vision is blurred, scattered, or undefined, life reflects the confusion back to you. The universe life, whatever you believe in, mirrors the energy you project. If you're uncertain, you attract uncertainty. If you're decisive, you attract direction. Clarity is power because it cuts through doubt and directs all your energy toward a specific destination. When you define your vision with precision, you stop chasing everything that looks shiny and start pursuing what truly matters. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. Life doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what you are clear about. Clarity is what transforms dreams from fantasies into blueprints. It turns ideas into execution and chaos into order. The clearer you are about your vision, the easier it becomes to make decisions. You stop asking, what should I do? Because your vision already answers that question. You stop wasting energy on things that don't serve your purpose because you instantly recognize what does and what doesn't fit into your future. Clarity eliminates distractions. It becomes your filter, allowing you to focus your time and energy on actions that move you closer to your desired reality. When your vision is clear, your choices become simple, not because life gets easier, but because you get focused. You develop laser-like direction, and with direction comes momentum. Most people never reach their potential not because they lack talent, but because they lack clarity. They wake up every day reacting to life instead of leading it. They drift from one goal to another, one idea to another, constantly busy but rarely productive. They confuse movement with progress. But when you're crystal clear about what you want, you stop drifting. You anchor yourself to purpose. You stop saying yes to everything and start saying yes only to what aligns with your vision. That's when life starts aligning too. Opportunities that once seemed random begin to make sense. People who share your values start showing up. Resources appear at the right time. It's not magic, it's alignment. Clarity creates magnetic energy that draws the right things toward you and repels what doesn't belong. When you gain clarity, even your pain finds purpose. The setbacks, failures, and disappointments that once seemed meaningless begin to reveal their lessons. You start to see how every challenge fits into your story. Instead of seeing chaos, you start seeing coordination. You understand that everything you've been through has been preparing you for what's coming. Clarity turns confusion into confidence. It gives you the strength to say, this is where I'm going, even when the road ahead isn't fully visible. You may not know every step, but you know the direction. That's what matters. You can adjust your path as you go, but without clarity, there's nothing to adjust toward. Life becomes an endless loop of trial and error with no destination in sight. But when you have a vision that's clear and strong, every step, no matter how small, becomes progress. Clarity doesn't just shape your path, it shapes your energy. When your vision is scattered, your energy is fragmented. You're pulled in too many directions, constantly switching focus, constantly restarting. But when your vision is defined, your energy becomes concentrated. You become more productive in less time. You start operating with a sense of calm confidence because you're no longer guessing, you're executing. You no longer chase motivation because clarity fuels consistency. You wake up each day knowing what to do, why you're doing it, and how it connects to the bigger picture. That sense of purpose eliminates hesitation. It transforms anxiety into anticipation and confusion into conviction. You feel lighter because your energy is no longer divided between what you want and what you think you should want. When your vision is clear, you start making decisions that align with your future self instead of your current circumstances. You stop reacting to the present moment and start creating from your intended destination. You begin to think like the person who already lives the life you desire. You start asking, what would the future me do in this moment? That single question brings alignment to every action. It shifts your focus from immediate comfort to long-term fulfillment. You stop sabotaging your growth for short-term pleasure because you're too focused on your long-term purpose. That's what clarity does. It anchors your actions and intention. You move with precision. You act from design, not from impulse. Clarity also strengthens your confidence. When you're uncertain about your direction, doubt creeps in easily. You question yourself, second-guess your choices, and compare your progress to others. But when your vision is clear, confidence becomes a natural byproduct. You stop comparing because you're too focused on your path. You stop seeking approval because your direction validates itself. Confidence doesn't come from knowing you'll never fail. It comes from knowing exactly what you're pursuing and why it matters. Even when you face setbacks, clarity reminds you that failure isn't the end, it's just feedback. It helps you correct your course without losing momentum. You no longer get stuck because you understand where you're going. Even when the terrain changes, life begins to align with the clarity of your vision because clarity communicates strength. It tells the world you know what you're doing, where you're going, and why you'll get there. That certainly influences how people respond to you. Opportunities flow toward those who radiate conviction. People trust those who have a sense of direction. The clearer your vision, the stronger your energy, and the more powerful your presence becomes. You start leading instead of following. You attract collaboration, support, and synchronicities that seem almost miraculous because the world always aligns with those who move with clear intention. When you hesitate, doors remain closed. When you act decisively, doors open. The world follows the rhythm of your belief, and the precision of your vision. Clarity also brings peace. Unclear vision breeds anxiety because uncertainty breeds fear. When you don't know what you want, you constantly question if you're doing enough, if you're on the right path, if you're wasting time. But when you're clear, those questions disappear. You feel grounded, centered, and calm even in chaos. You stop overthinking because you've already decided. That inner peace gives you power. It allows you to make better decisions faster. It gives you the patience to trust timing because you know where you're headed. You no longer rush out of fear of missing out because you understand that what's meant for your vision will align with it at the right time. That's what happens when clarity replaces confusion. Peace replaces pressure. Clarity doesn't come from waiting for certainty. It comes from choosing it. You don't find clarity by standing still. You create it through action. Every time you take a step forward, you learn something new about what works and what doesn't. Every action brings feedback. Every decision sharpens your focus. Clarity grows through movement, not meditation alone. Too many people wait for perfect clarity before starting, not realizing that clarity comes from starting. When you begin moving toward your vision, even imperfectly, the path begins to reveal itself. The more you commit, the clearer it becomes. Action refines vision the way fire refines gold. The process of moving toward what you want makes the picture sharper with every step. When your vision is clear, you also develop a stronger relationship with yourself. You begin to trust your instincts, your judgment, and your timing. You stop outsourcing your direction to others. You realize that clarity isn't about controlling every outcome. It's about trusting yourself to navigate whatever comes. You understand that uncertainty will always exist, but your clarity gives you power over it. You can face the unknown with confidence because you've already defined what matters most. Life no longer feels random. It feels guided. It feels intentional. That's the alignment that happens when your vision is clear. Everything begins to flow. Instead of fight against you, clarity turns struggle into strategy and chaos into creation. It gives you the ability to move through life with direction, confidence, and calm. It helps you see opportunities hidden within challenges and lessons hidden within losses. The clearer you become, the smoother life begins to operate. Things start connecting in ways you couldn't plan because clarity communicates readiness. When you're clear about what you want, life says, finally, now I can give it to you. Alignment begins the moment confusion ends. Everything you've been chasing starts chasing you because the world always responds to the power of a focused, unwavering vision. Your vision is not out there. It's within you waiting to be unleashed. It's not something external that you need to search for, earn, or discover in some distant place. It's already inside, embedded in your mind, your heart, and your spirit. Every great achievement begins with an internal spark, an idea, a belief, a picture of the future that exists before it manifests in reality. The world doesn't give vision. You already carry it. What separates those who accomplish extraordinary things from those who live ordinary lives is the courage to recognize that internal vision and the willingness to act on it relentlessly. The potential you seek externally is already coded within your being. All the tools, creativity, intelligence, and intuition necessary to bring your dreams to life are inside you. You don't need permission from anyone to activate it. You only need to decide to tap into it. When you realize your vision is within, everything changes. You stop looking for validation, approval, or guidance from the outside. You stop waiting for the right timing, the perfect circumstances, or someone to hand you the keys to your destiny. Instead, you begin to act from a place of self-belief and internal authority. Your vision becomes your internal compass, guiding your choices, decisions, and actions. You begin to see that external obstacles are merely tests of your commitment, not barriers to your progress. The moment you embrace that your vision exists inside you, fear starts to lose its power. Fear relies on external dependence, but internal vision empowers you to act regardless of uncertainty or resistance. You develop an unshakable confidence because your source of power is not situational. It's intrinsic. When your vision is within, it also becomes inexhaustible. External motivation comes and goes. External circumstances fluctuate. Other people's support is unreliable. But your internal vision is constant, steady, and reliable. It does not depend on applause, recognition, or reward. It does not fade when things get hard. It becomes the core of your resilience, the anchor that keeps you grounded when storms arise, and the fuel that keeps you moving when the world tells you to stop. Those who succeed are the ones who have learned to access this internal reservoir of energy, focus, and creativity. They tap into a source of power that cannot be drained by external circumstances. That is the essence of unleashing the vision within, realizing that your greatest resource is already in your possession and learning to use it strategically, consistently, and fearlessly. Your internal vision also connects you to purpose. Purpose is not found outside. It is illuminated by the vision inside. When you act from your internal vision, every choice has meaning. Every action becomes intentional, and every setback becomes a lesson rather than a defeat. You no longer move through life blindly or reactively. You begin to operate from the center of your potential rather than on the periphery of possibility. That purpose aligns your energy, sharpens your focus, and accelerates your growth. You start to notice synchronicities, opportunities, and relationships that serve your vision because your internal compass is guiding you toward what matters most. The world begins to make sense, not because it has changed, but because you are operating from clarity within. Recognizing that your vision is internal also transforms how you view challenges. Obstacles are no longer permanent barriers. They are indicators, guides, and opportunities to refine your approach. Every problem becomes a signal that there is more within you to access. Your internal vision allows you to tap into creativity, courage, and resilience that might otherwise remain dormant. You start to trust your instincts more, knowing that the answers already reside within. The process of bringing your vision to life is not about discovering something external. It's about unlocking what already exists inside and aligning your actions with it. Every challenge you face becomes a chance to strengthen your connection to that inner power. When you understand that your vision is within, you also understand that you are the primary agent of your own transformation. You stop blaming circumstances, other people, or luck for your current situation. You recognize that you hold the power to change your trajectory. That realization is liberating because it shifts responsibility from external factors to internal capacity. You become proactive instead of reactive. You stop waiting for the world to act and start acting in alignment with the vision within. This shift from dependency to autonomy creates momentum. You take ownership of your results because you understand that the source of those results begins with you and your internal alignment with your vision. Unleashing the vision within also demands courage because internal power is invisible. People may doubt you, circumstances may seem impossible, and the path may appear unclear. But the inner vision gives you a guide to navigate uncertainty. You don't need proof before acting. Your clarity and faith in your internal vision are sufficient. That faith generates action, and action produces results. The more you act on your internal vision, the more tangible it becomes. Each step reinforces your belief, strengthens your resolve, and expands your capacity. Courage is required to trust the unseen and act with conviction even when there is no external validation. But that courage becomes easier to sustain as you consistently tap into the vision that already exists within you. When you operate from the vision inside, your creativity multiplies. Solutions, opportunities, and strategies begin to appear because your mind is no longer limited by external noise or perceived impossibilities. You start to think expansively, act decisively, and innovate courageously. Your internal vision becomes a magnet for ideas, resources, and collaborators. You begin to attract people, circumstances, and opportunities that resonate with the energy of your vision because clarity and confidence radiate outward. Others are drawn to your focus, consistency, and conviction because your internal power signals readiness for growth and achievement. The internal vision also nurtures persistence. External motivation is unreliable, obstacles, delays, and criticism can easily sap energy. But when your vision is within, it creates a reservoir of determination that cannot be depleted by temporary setbacks. You continue moving forward even when the road is difficult because you are fueled by an internal compass, not by temporary excitement or approval. You develop resilience because you are connected to a source of strength that is constant, regardless of external conditions. That resilience allows you to endure, adapt, and thrive in situations where most people give up, hesitate, or abandon their dreams. Your internal vision also aligns your actions with your deepest values. When the vision is inside, you naturally act in ways that are congruent with who you truly are and who you want to become. You stop chasing superficial goals or external validation. Instead, your focus is on what is meaningful, fulfilling, and transformative. This alignment between vision and action eliminates internal conflict, reduces wasted energy, and amplifies results. You operate from authenticity, and that authenticity strengthens influence, impact, and the ability to manifest outcomes that are aligned with your highest purpose. Recognizing that your vision is within allows you to embrace the long-term nature of growth and success. External validation and instant gratification are fleeting, but the internal vision creates a deep, enduring source of motivation. It shifts your perspective from short-term fixes to long-term fulfillment. You understand that the process of manifestation requires consistency, patience, and refinement. You no longer get discouraged by temporary setbacks because your internal vision reminds you that you are creating something bigger than immediate results. It gives you endurance, perspective, and the confidence to continue acting even when outcomes are delayed or uncertain. The internal vision also empowers you to act with independence. You no longer rely on others to define your path or provide permission. You stop waiting for approval, recognition, or the right time to start. Instead, you begin to take decisive steps guided by your own clarity, confidence, and purpose. This autonomy increases self-trust and strengthens your ability to navigate challenges without being swayed by external opinion. You realize that the power to create your life is not outside, it is already inside, waiting for activation. When your vision is internal, it also transforms how you view learning, growth, and failure. Mistakes are no longer threats, they are signals that you are engaging with your vision fully. Failures become experiments, feedback, and opportunities to refine your approach. You understand that success is not about avoiding mistakes, but about consistently aligning action with your internal vision. Each attempt builds competence, courage, and confidence. You trust the process because the vision inside is steady and unwavering, providing a constant source of guidance, inspiration, And resilience, your internal vision, is the ultimate source of power because it is entirely yours. No one can take it from you, diminish it, or dictate its value. It exists independently of circumstance, opinion, or external recognition. The moment you fully embrace this truth, you shift from dependence on outside factors to reliance on the immense capacity within. That internal vision becomes the engine of your transformation, the anchor of your persistence, the compass of your choices, and the magnet that draws opportunities into alignment with your purpose. When you unleash the vision within, you unlock potential you may not have realized you possessed. You begin to act with clarity, courage, and conviction. You start to create outcomes that reflect the full power of your imagination, energy, and determination. You stop waiting for life to deliver what you desire and begin generating it from the source that exists inside you. That internal power is inexhaustible, unwavering, and infinitely capable of transforming your dreams into reality.